Well, that deal in Indiana was done with the help of the governor of Indiana, who is also the vice president-elect. We spoke to Mike Pence late today, and we asked him what Mr. Trump meant by consequences for companies that move jobs overseas. Mr. Vice President-elect, you're there at the Carrier plant. Earlier today, the president-elect said that companies would no longer be allowed to leave the United States without consequences. What are the consequences?
Well, I think first and foremost, what the president-elect has made clear is that we're simply going to improve the environment in America for job creators and for businesses. We're going to lower taxes. We're going to roll back the kind of regulations that, frankly, were placing a crushing weight on Carrier here in Indiana and literally was responsible for driving them out of this country. The president was able to reach out to their parent company, United Technologies, tell the story of his vision to make this country more competitive and more attractive for jobs and for businesses. And the announcement today, I think, is just the beginning of many good days where businesses are going to recognize that change is coming, help is on the way, and the best place to grow jobs and create opportunities is right here in the United States.
When Mr. Trump talks about consequences, are we talking about punitive taxes?
I think everything is really on the table as we negotiate trade deals going forward, as we renegotiate the North American Free Trade Agreement. I think what the American people can anticipate that the Trump administration is going to roll our sleeves up and we're going to drive a hard bargain. Look, the American worker has been losing for decades now. We've seen manufacturing in decline here in the industrial Midwest. Today's announcement here at Carrier, I think, gives hopes to millions of Americans that they now are going to have a president after January 20th who's going to fight for manufacturing jobs, going to negotiate deals that put American workers and American jobs first, and we're going to use all the tools that are available to make sure that we create a more attractive environment for business in the United States, less taxes for businesses and individuals, less regulations that are stifling jobs and growth, repealing and replacing Obamacare that's stifling growth in our economy, but it also means we're going to have policies in trade that really do protect the American economy.
Now, Carrier tells us that you have saved 800 jobs that were headed to Mexico. How did you do it?
Well, it all began with a phone call by President-elect Donald Trump, almost about a week to the day after the election. He picked up the phone. He called the chairman of the parent company and just asked them to reconsider their decision to move jobs to Mexico from here in the state of Indiana. And he shared our vision for less taxes on businesses, to roll back the avalanche of regulations that's been stifling companies like Carrier and driving them out of our country. I just couldn't be more grateful.
But not to put too fine a point on it, sir, 1,300 jobs are still going to Mexico, and I wonder, why were you not able to save those?
This change in their business policies was set into motion many months before he even secured the nomination. But I think what the American people have seen here is that they're going to have a president after January 20th, the likes of which they're already seeing in a president-elect who's going to roll his sleeves up and he's going to fight for American jobs. And I have to tell you, Scott, the fact that Carrier was set at this factory to go to 0 jobs, and now we have more than 1,100 good-paying jobs here in the state of Indiana with the opportunity for that to grow, I think is welcome news. And I will say to you, I think it's just the beginning of a real revival of manufacturing all across the heartland and all across the United States of America.
Just since the election, President-elect Trump has reversed himself on prosecuting Hillary Clinton and on deporting 11 million illegal immigrants in this country. Did he just say those things to get elected? Did he never intend to do them?
I think what the American people know they have in President-elect Donald Trump is someone who speaks straight from his mind and straight from his heart. And on the issue of illegal immigration, I promise you, as we were meeting yesterday on Capitol Hill with leaders of the House and Senate, we're going to go straight to work after this Congress convenes and this administration takes office. And we're going to pass policies that will end illegal immigration in this country.
But he made these promises, and now he's reversed himself, and I wonder, what does that tell us about Donald Trump?
Well, I think what it tells you about Donald Trump in both cases, that he's always going to tell the American people where he stands. And make no mistake about it, there's been no change in the policy about ending illegal immigration in this country.
The Speaker of the House told us today that when it comes to deporting 11 million illegal immigrants, it's not going to happen, and he won't fund it.
I promise you that we're going to get a tremendous amount of support from members on Capitol Hill for border security, for strengthening internal enforcement, expanding our border agents, expanding Immigration and Customs Enforcement, identifying and prioritizing the removal from this country of criminal illegal aliens, those who've overstayed their visas. And I'm very confident that we'll have broad-based support in the Congress for what the President-elect outlined in the course of his campaign, and we're going to work every day to make sure that we advance those policies and end illegal immigration once and for all.
Vice President-elect Mike Pence, also governor of Indiana until January the 20th. We thank you very much for your time. You made a big difference for about 800 families in your home state there. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, Scott.